All right, hey guys, welcome to Friday Night Live at Black Blake Rips. We are going to get a little wild tonight and do something way different. I have got a Rolling Stones Prizm Mega Box. That's right, you're not seeing things. I was completely unaware this existed until my local card shop posted about it today, and I thought, you know, I like to do weird stuff sometimes. I gotta grab one of those. I saw little to no info or videos online, so there will be one now. If you didn't know, I'm a musician, so I have a soft spot for music stuff. And, you know, Rolling Stones are one of the biggest, greatest bands of all time. Certainly most marketable bands with their little tongue symbol. So why not give them a Prizm product? Well, let's take a look at what to expect. You know, it's like, what to expect? Well, it's Prizm. So we're going to see Prizm stuff. Right on the front here, let's just get right to it. Manga and Color Blast. Imagine a Keith Richards Color Blast or a Mick Jagger manga. How crazy would that be? Look for stunning die cuts, hot licks albums. Those are gonna be inserts. 4 numbereds, so that's pretty good for a mega box, right? I guess we would call this a hobby box probably. This was like 50 bucks, by the way. All right, let's take a look at this list because this will be entertaining. Of course, we are gonna look for silvers. We can see Orange Wave, Yellow Scope, Black and Red Checkerboard, Disco, Mojo, Blue Eyes, Tie-Dye, Purple Power, Gold, Gold Vinyl, Black Finite, numbered all the way down to 1. So you can see like almost every dang variation there is. They loaded this up with parallel, so that's cool. Albums, hot licks, stadium show, poster perfection. So maybe like some album artwork kind of stuff. Right in the middle here, Color Blast. It's interesting how that's in the middle. And then let's check the bottom of the list. Singles artwork, which can be tie-dye, gold, gold vinyl. And then the manga at the end. So a couple numbered cards guaranteed. Any parallel you can think of. And some cool case hits. So I'm excited to dive in here. By the way, I did not see auto on here, which that's unfortunate because obviously a Mick Jagger auto would be awesome. I'm guessing the Rolling Stones signed off on this, but they were like, nah, we're not doing autos. Those autos are probably too expensive to get. Anyways, that's everything I know. Let's go ahead and dive in. And I am not aware if there's a blaster box or fat packs or anything, but there is a mega. And if you don't already, please subscribe to the channel to see mostly sports cards, a little bit of Pokemon, and sometimes weird stuff like this. I do also have a giveaway going. I promise I will pick a winner this weekend for some select football. Still have time to jump in there. If you didn't already, it's a few videos before this. Probably whatever I rip next, I'll pick a winner. Don't worry. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Rolling Stones Prizm. I am unaware if they do a lot of, you know, musicians or bands sets like this backwards. Top cards backwards, bottom cards backwards. All right. What do we do? Flip them around, I guess. That's interesting. All right, we're starting things off with Mick Jagger. So I guess this would be like just a base. Charlie Watts bass. Amazing drummer, rest in peace. We're gonna see a lot of, you know, there's 4 guys in the band. So we're gonna see, I assume it's just gonna be a bunch of different pictures of those 4 guys. A lot of Mick. You know, there will definitely be some Rolling Stones fans out there who will get excited about these. Poster perfection. So we're going to see some different posters. Got a couple crazy things coming up here. All right, we got a nice little die cut of the tongue. International licks. So this one says Brazil. So just, I guess, kind of commemorating out of 99, 1 of 99. How about that? South America is one of the last Stones. Just basically says that they played there in 1995. So I don't know, maybe you saw the Stones in Brazil you want to commemorate that experience, there's a cool card for you. Out of 99. First on the print, baby. And then on the bottom, we got Charlie on the silver. As far as value of these, there's probably not yet going to be many comps. So if I sell any of these, I will most likely be setting the market. But the value of any card is whatever someone is willing to pay for it. And as a musician and music fan, I certainly will hold on to some of these. I hadn't really thought about what I'm going to do with these yet. There's Keith. I'm a Keith guy. Keith is just like this crazy old pirate who, no matter what he does, he keeps on ticking. He also was inspiration for Johnny Depp's character in Pirates of the Caribbean. If you didn't know that, listen to a Keith Richards interview and then listen to Johnny Depp as a pirate, and he actually drew a lot of his inspiration from Keith. All right, so we got another die cut. These look like security. Okay, no security. No security sounds familiar. I don't know if that was one of their tours or their albums. Rolling Stones, Tattoo You. That looks like an album. A little record there. I mean, these are pretty cool looking. You got to picture like a big Rolling Stones fan, which there are many of. They would probably like all of this stuff. That's pretty cool. So that's gonna be like a disco, Rolling Stones disco out of 149, number 12. By the way, as far as when this released, just popped up at my store is usually on top of things. So I'm gonna say this is release day. I'm gonna say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I guess we'll call this 2025. The year isn't really that important, but it's when it came out. So I guess if they do more of these, which if these go well, they will do more. If these don't go that well, these may actually be pretty collectible because I wonder how many of these they made, I have the feeling these aren't probably not going to show up at like every Target. I feel like this is a little more of a specialty item. Some cool looking. I'm excited to see how loaded these are. Like, are we going to get tie-dye? Are we going to get what kind of crazy stuff? A little album. Poster Perfections 78 World Tour, and that is a silver. And on the bottom we got Watts with the red and black checkerboard. And that one is out of 179. It says we should see at least 4 numbered cards. I have the feeling, just judging by the checklist, that they put like compare this to like Prizm basketball, where you see almost nothing but base cards. I think you're gonna see a lot more parallels and numbered cards and die cuts, because they gotta do something to make these fun, I feel like we haven't seen poor Ronnie Wood yet. Mick on the Hot Licks. We got another Hot Licks coming. That is like a young Mick. Hot Licks International, Germany. And I guess I'm gonna call that tie-dye, right? I wonder, is it, wow, out of 49. Is it just happened to be a tie-dye print? I think that's a tie-dye. It does have, silver to it, but I've seen just a base version of this. I think it's a tie-dye. Tie-dye out of 49. So, for what it's worth, nice card. I've never pulled a tie-dye of anything out of Prizm in my life, so that's exciting. Charlie Watts on the silver. Give us a Color Blast Manga. It would feel so good. I gotta say the order of these are interesting. Everything's backwards. I'm not sure what the game plan was there. There's Ronnie Wood. Poster Perfection. Houston. We got a lot of these hot licks. You know, they only got so many cards to choose from. This one is Scotland. I think those are going to be most excitable to, you know, someone that maybe went to those shows, or maybe you're from Scotland and you love Rolling Stones and it's just cool to have. I don't know. All right, then we got Mick on the orange. And is that numbered? It is 259. It's a nice Mick. All right, we got one pack to go, guys. See if we can finish strong. Coming up, I don't have a plan for the weekend yet. We'll see. I need to kind of chill a little bit. I got a little wild with the Contenders optic, and I didn't have the busiest week. It's kind of a stressful work week, to be honest with you. I'm glad to be kind of done with it, at least for tonight, and ripping some cards, because, you know, sometimes you just have stressful weeks. Uh, 40 Licks album. So maybe that's your favorite album. All right, we got it backwards. Let's just get right to it. Oh, it wasn't backwards. Voodoo Lounge. Let me tell you something about Voodoo Lounge. My first big concert I ever went to was Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge in Minneapolis at whatever the stadium there is. It wasn't the first concert I ever went to. It was almost, but it was my first like big rock concert. I'll never forget it. 1994. So maybe I keep that one because of it's sentimental. I remember that I snuck a beer. I drank a beer, and you know, I was so young. And by the way, if you're 14, do not drink. You wait until you're 21, for crying out loud. But I was, you know, one beer and I was drunk. Like, you know, I was just wasted for the whole night. I was a troubled teen. I was a handful, folks. Not anymore. All right, and then finally, speaking of Ronnie Wood, wow, we got Ronnie out of 25. We ended up getting the lowest numbered card, at least. Our boy Ronnie, and it's a purple. What do they call the purple? Purple Power. So for the Ronnie Wood fan out there, pretty cool. Let's do a quick recap. Out of 25, we got at least 4. I think we maybe got 5 numbered cards. We got some of these albums. Silver album here. We got Mick to 259. We got some of these international. Scotland on the silver. Charlie Watts. This is cool. Tie-dye. Germany tie-dye. Anybody watching this who's from Germany, holler at me. You got to have that card. And that is out of 49. We got a lot of numbered cards. Charlie Watts on the checkerboard. We got a disco, full band disco. That is out of 149. I'm like thinking in my head, what am I gonna do with all these? Like, will people even want to buy these? Probably, but they won't even know to look for them because we'll see. Brazil on the Mojo. You get some good parallels on these tongue cards. And Charlie on the silver. All right, guys. As I mentioned, sometimes it's just fun to do something kind of weird. And this definitely met that criteria. Pretty cool stuff. Don't know anything about value, desirability, but they do give you some nice parallels and numbered cards. So they do the best to beef up those boxes. We'll see how these go. Not sure if they do blasters. I might do a blaster if they had them. Who knows? Otherwise, I do have, forgot to mention, I didn't pull the trigger on a Donruss baseball hobby box yet, but they did have hobby box packs. So I always like to do that. If it's a hobby product that I can't necessarily afford the whole box, I'll at least get a pack. So stay tuned for that short. And all I'm gonna say is this one was thick. So, hey, it's not illegal. He said, pick which one do you want? I picked a pack up and I was like, that thing is thick. I want that one. So we'll see what happens. I hope you all have a great weekend. I appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. We're on our way to 9K. Select giveaway results coming soon. We'll see whatever else shows up at my door or on the shelves. I did miss a delivery today, which I think was another PSA. So I may have another PSA reveal coming. I've been doing great with PSA lately, so that's exciting. Catch you on the next one, guys. Happy Friday. Peace. Oh.